In case you didn't know, Niantic updated their terms of service, and yeah, there's a couple of shady things that Niantic is doing right now that I really do think needs to be addressed. That's what this video is going to be all about, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to today's Pokemon GO video. Okay, so if you've recently opened up Pokemon GO, you would have seen an add-on that indicated that the terms of service has been updated. I went through the terms of service to see what was actually changed, and there were a few things that raised my eyebrow. The first thing that stood out to me was that they added some language regarding third-party purchases, and this is actually something very interesting because I think it's mostly related to Peridot. In case you didn't know, if you go to Peridot's in-game shop, you could actually buy a lot of merchandise like t-shirts within the shop itself, and they'll send it directly to you. And this is probably just some stuff related to that, mainly because they're going through Amazon and other third parties, so they're probably just trying to protect themselves of any kind of liability in that regard, and that's totally understandable. There's nothing really shady going on here. Now, the second thing that stood out was in regards to in-person events, like Pokemon Go Fest and Go Tour. They have the right to kick you out of those events if you harass Niantic employees. Now, I think it's pretty funny that they add something like this after a very controversial start of the year. Of course, people are going to be attending those in-person Go Fest events, and it's going to be on the heels of the Heroes Niantic movement. So expect a lot of disgruntled players trying to talk to Niantic employees, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some instances where those disgruntled players are going to voice their opinions in a harsh manner. So yeah, Niantic is now trying to protect themselves from that sort of thing happening, but I really hope Niantic understands that because of the amount of upset players that they have, that is probably still going to be inevitable. Now, this is probably going to affect me more than it's going to affect you, but they added some language related to DMCA takedowns, and I really do think this is going to be something interesting in the coming years. If there is a YouTube channel or a content creator that is hypercritical of Niantic, like myself, well, they might be able to take down those channels through DMCA. And I don't necessarily think this is the direction that they're going to go, but it is a possibility now. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is added specifically for content creators who are trying to capitalize on the Pokemon GO IP, but we'll just have to wait and see. I do think there's a lot of people out there who are creating merch and different things like that related to Pokemon GO, and Niantic is not getting a cent out of it. So that might be the reason why they're doing this, but yeah, it's going to be a testy time for content creators, especially those that are always critical of Niantic, like myself. So yeah, what are my thoughts regarding all of this? Well, when it comes to the terms of service and the privacy policy, there really wasn't too much that was incredibly shady. Like, it's more just Niantic covering their butts. I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying that Niantic is now not liable for providing the experience that they promised, but that was already in the terms of service, actually. And it's really shameful because Niantic has not been fulfilling a lot of their promises when it comes to in-person events and in-game events. So yeah, I mean, they've always been shady in that regard. So that's nothing new. So yeah, don't think that it's a new thing that Niantic is now going to be not fulfilling their promises as a result of the terms of service. That's always been a thing. So yeah, that's just how shady Niantic is. So yeah, very testy time in Pokemon GO right now. The terms of service was updated to cover themselves of a lot of liability, but in general, I just feel like they've been shady from the beginning with the terms of service, so nothing too drastic has happened. I mean, yeah, the whole thing with in-person events, like getting harassed, like, that makes sense, and I'm pretty sure they added that in because they foresee that happening this year, which they should. And yeah, it's really unfortunate because we've gotten to this point where they have to add something like that to the terms of service. That's pretty pathetic if you ask me. It just goes to show just how much the relationship between the Pokemon GO community and Niantic has devolved, and I really think Niantic needs to do something about that. I mean, all it really would take is to come out and acknowledge the Heroes Niantic movement. At least talk to the community about why they disagree with what players want. And maybe we can come to a middle ground. But as of right now, Niantic has refused to do that. So hopefully things change. I really am still hopeful for the rest of this year. Pokemon Go Fest is something that I really am not sure how it's going to go down, but let's just see how things happen, because Pokemon Go Fest was very disappointing last year, and people did not get their money's worth. I predict it's probably going to be the same this year, but we'll have to wait and see. Like, the Hoenn Tour event in Las Vegas was actually pretty neat on paper, but it ended up not being executed properly because of the technical issues, and hopefully that's not going to be the case this year with the in-person Go Fest. But let's be real here, this is Niantic, it's probably going to be a hot mess. So yeah, these are just some of my thoughts regarding Niantic as of late. I do think there's a lot of shady things going on, and of course the terms of service getting updated is also something that raises my eyebrow, and I think it's pretty funny. But in any case, I would love to know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Are you curious about why Niantic updated the terms of service? Are you unhappy with how Niantic has been shady as of late? Definitely share those thoughts in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then do consider checking out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way, like with remote raids or the friendship levels, then definitely go and check out my Patreon. Alright, and that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.